Hello again, everybody. This is Bill Eldridge, and we're broadcasting live on tape with Allan James, who is the voice of the Kokomo Wildcats part-time, and tonight we're playing in the semifinal round.
It is going to be fun. Oh, yeah. What a game tonight. I think about what the Wildcats accomplished back on Tuesday night, that huge win over Marion, one of our great rivals in the NCC.
Yeah.
And then now we're going to face a old-time NCC rival and a new NCC rival as Lafayette Jeff comes back to the conference next year. So we had a really, I wouldn't say it was an easy game against Jeff in the regular season back in, I think we did them in January, if I remember correctly. But I think the Cats have turned something on, and I'm sure you've seen the footage from that game. Man, they were on from the moment they tipped off Tuesday night, and when you saw inside play from guys like Kylie Behealer and Eric Bowen that were just tremendous inside for the Cats against Marion. And Marion had put in some big guys to really try and deal with our Twin Towers, but they were strong. And if they can continue that momentum against Jeff, that'll give our forwards and guards a chance to shoot some threes and to really get the scoring up there like we saw Tuesday night. Guys like Dockemeyer who were hitting on all cylinders, and of course our mainstays are Taylor Persons and LeBradford Seabury. They've been just tremendous here, especially in the kickoff of the tournament.
Well, to give Marion a little credit, they suspended some players, didn't they?
Yeah, there were 4 players involved in that suspension, and 2 of them were guys that would play on the varsity. When I compared the 2 teams really from when I saw them in December against the Cats and then the team we saw Tuesday night, it really wasn't that much different. And let's face it, they scored over 50 points themselves, so their shooters were okay, but it was their ability or inability to deal with our front, our top 5 guys.
Well, the other thing I thought Kokomo did, something that they have not done consistently well, and that is get off to a fast start.
Yeah, exactly.
Get off to a fast start. Don't be behind. Don't look up and be down 5, down 6. Yeah. Have the other team look up and be down 6.
And I think that exactly how the players kind of entered the game, and I'm sure the coaching had really prepared them mentally for that to really start quick. And what I saw them doing was anticipating so much of what Marion might do. And when they spread out, for example, an inbound pass that would typically be a matter of routine for a play, for a team, and you saw guys like Seabury and even Cox and Burnett anticipating having a guy right on the player with the inbound pass and anticipate that long throw that they were choosing to use for the inbound pass, and just getting out there and capturing that ball. We saw that several times in the game Tuesday night, and that's a type of full press that Kokomo doesn't do each and every week. So, they started it right away in the first period Tuesday night, and it really made a difference in the game. And then when you start getting up like that, you just start getting excited. There were a lot of smiles on players' faces right away in the beginning of the game. Oh, absolutely.
You feel confident, and when you feel confident, you play better.
Yeah, and when you speak of confidence, I think the number one player that I think had been needing a boost was Eric Bowen.
Yeah.
He had been coming up short on a lot of shots here in the last couple of weeks. And he started out that way in the game Tuesday night, but then all of a sudden you could see, he started hitting those shots again. And from the line, his free throws were solid. And then all of a sudden he's hitting those, easy jumpers, just outside, the sweet spot outside the paint. And he was really feeling good. And a lot of smiles, like I said, on the players' faces, including Eric's. And I was really happy to see his game kind of get over the hump of that slump that he was in.
I watched him play last year. I did a lot of the games last year, and he looked like he just had so much potential, just that one more step. And I'm sure that our friend Craig Hartz probably takes a lot of credit for improving Eric. I think he plays on Craig's AAU team.
Yeah.
So, all right, Lafayette Jeff beat him in the regular season. What do they bring to the table now tonight?
Well, we've played some tough teams here in the last part of the regular season schedule. Richmond was tougher than Lafayette Jeff, and I put Lafayette Jeff kind of in a similar category where Marion has been as far as their skill set, their speed, and obviously they can play, but they're not at the level of where we saw Richmond and Anderson and maybe even Newcastle. I mean, those were 3 games where the Cats really had to work hard to win. And with Jeff, if they apply themselves much like they did Tuesday night against Marion, I think that, I'm going to say this because I really believe it, tonight's game could see a similar outcome from Tuesday.
Wouldn't that be great?
It would be, but I mean, if our front 7, our top 7 guys can play like they did Tuesday night, I predict a similar outcome. Now, if they're off a beat or something like that, then it's going to be a tighter game, but I still think Kokomo will win.
Second game, that game's at 6 o'clock. You can watch it tonight on KokomoPerspective.com. Second game is Logansport and McCutcheon.
Yeah.
What do they bring?
Well, as we were analyzing those 2 teams, of course, McCutcheon is another one that's in that same class with Lafayette Jeff as far as I'm concerned. Logansport's a little quicker and I think has probably a little bit better game going for them than McCutcheon. So I would say Logansport will probably win that, and we'll see a Kokomo Logansport championship on Saturday. That's kind of the way we evaluate things. I think that particular.
We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but if we can win this sectional, our regional draw wasn't the best draw in the state.
No, we're going to go, saying that we win the sectional championship, which will be the 73rd sectional championship for the Kokomo Wildcats, the most of any team in the state. We go to take on the winner of that Carmel sectional, which has 3 outstanding teams in it, including Carmel, the defending state champions. Yeah. And then you've got a Fishers team and a North Central team and Southeastern team. I mean, who's going to win this thing? I mean, it's really up in the air, and it's going to be a tough game. I mean, the hardest game potentially in the regional would come from both the Lafayette Jeff sectional and Carmel sectional. So they meet right there, and you're going to have that game.
I don't think you're doing that game. I'll come out of retirement again.
Yeah, I had to schedule conflict. We couldn't do the game.
The last time I did a Carmel game, Mark Herman and Bart Burrell led Carmel to the state championship, and I don't remember what year that was, but it's been a few years ago.
Don't bring that influence onto Carmel when you're calling the game, bud. So that's if Carmel makes it there, because the thing of it is, Carmel's facing teams that they have lost to, in their own sectional. So it's
a bad shooting night in that Carmel sectional, and you're done. You can't
exactly.
None of those teams, regardless, North Central, Carmel, Fishers, a bad shooting night, and the other team will just gobble you up. We got some other teams playing. Western still alive in the Twin Lakes Twinkie sectional. Oh, Indians. I'm sorry, Twin Lakes Indians.
Twinkies.
It's always been the Twinkie stuff. at Brookston, they were always the Twin Lakes Twinkies. So Western, tell us what you think about them.
Well, I have to be honest, I haven't really seen them play, but you got to take a school that has as much pride as Western does, and great fan support. They always turn their game on in the tournament, so it's a team that definitely can win the sectional and continue to carry their fan base through the tournament. So I feel good about them. Although I haven't seen them, I know the rich heritage that the Western Panthers bring to the basketball sectional, and I think that'll help carry them through.
And they have a huge fan following. Their fans will come out and support them. Well, something that we cannot let go without talking about, and that is the Eastern Lady Comets playing for the state championship on Saturday night in Terre Haute. And I saw them play a lot last year. I haven't seen them play much this year, but last year I saw them play a lot. The 2 Neely twins are just excellent, but there's more to Eastern than Brittany and Bethany.
Yeah, here's a team that's got some experience at the top end with senior leadership, and then it's got young players that, it reminds me, and I hope no one is offended by this, but it reminds me of that Tri-Central team once upon a time. That went 3. Well, they went to the state championship 4 years, but won 3 out of the 4. Every once in a while you'll get some student athletes that just bring something special to your school, and that's what Eastern has right now with those Lady Comets.
Yep, and they have a chance against Evansville, Made or Die, but Evansville beat Logansport in that Hall of Fame Classic. The Hall of Fame Classic. Here you got a class 2A school took out Logansport with that Jennings girl who could very well be Miss Basketball at some point. So Eastern's got their plate full, but the thing that Tim and I talked about earlier is the two Neely girls in particular they bring that bravado of in your face. I'm not going down. If you're going to beat me, you're going to have to keep beating me over the head with a 2x4. I'm not going to quit.
It's amazing when you see, girl basketball players have that kind of prowess, and in this region we're used to seeing that. Girls basketball has a great tradition going all the way back to to the Lady Cats, in that 92, 93, 94 era there. You saw girls who came with this desire to win. They were not going to be defeated, and like I say, every once in a while you see that a group like that come through, and that's what we have right now.
Well, I think it is with them. I think it's that long distance running. Anybody can run that far. They know that that they're not going to get tired. You're not going to outrun them.
Yeah,
you're not going to wear them down. Kokomo tonight, 6 o'clock, semifinal. Lafayette Jeff sectional. They're playing at Lafayette. Speaking of, every time I think of Lafayette Jeff, of course, I grew up over in that area. I think of Marion Crawley, and Marion Crawley, he recruited players before the new you can go anywhere to school. Jeff won the state championship in '64 with Denny Brady and the Tippecanoe County All-Star team. I think how would Marion Crawley do now with this open enrollment?
Yeah. Has this guy been around forever or what?
Older than dirt.
Bill Eldridge, older than dirt. Great basketball memories.
Oh, it is. And basketball in Indiana it just don't get better. So we'll see what the Cats can do. And
I got to play with this guy. We were the Gus Macker winner of the Celebrity Showdown one year. Remember that year?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we could play. He got some game.
No,
he's got game.
He had game. He has no game left. It went somewhere with the hair. I think the game went with the hair, or with the Achilles tendons. I don't know which. But Allan, you have done just a great job doing these games for us this season. We've had great following, and we want to thank our fans for that. And we want to wish the Cats the best of luck.
All right.